Dobar dan i dobrodošli na zajedničku konferenciju za medije predsjednika vlade Crne Gore Milojka Spajića i predsjednice Europske komisije Ursule von der Leyen. Najprije će vam se obratiti premijer Spajić, a zatim i predsjednica von der Leyen, a potom će uslijediti pitanja medija. Gospodine predsjedniče vlade, izvolite.
First of all, I would like to thank you, our dear friend, Madam President, for visiting us again in October when the Brussels weather is not fantastic, but Montenegrin weather is way better. So we expect you every year. We hope that this becomes really a tradition. Last year, actually almost 1 year ago, less than 1 year ago, we were discussing about all the plans, and you mentioned that it sounded very optimistic and enthusiastic. But I'm glad to say that after less than 1 year, Montenegro has managed to attain quite a few things and show truly that we are fully committed to a European path and that we can actually do it. We have done EBAR in June. EBAR was a big and major step that Montenegro was not able to do for so many years, for 6-7 years. We were talking about EBAR, but finally we had it done in June this year. We have had growth plan accepted by both the European Commission and the Montenegrin government, and most recently with the Council of the European Union. And thank you so much for all the support that you've done on that path. It's a very optimistic plan, but we believe it's realistic, and we can do it. Also, we have SEPA, that was pre-application and application, and then hopefully soon enough, Montenegrin SMEs and entrepreneurs will be able to have the opportunity to get connected to European Union companies in a much better way, to European Union banking system, to get all the payments that we're not able to get before. Also, we have a growth plan that is, as I said, very ambitious, but is not necessarily only because of the funds that we would get from European Union, but also because the signaling effect that it has would prove to the European Union investors that Montenegro is ready for business, Montenegro is ready to get serious investors from all the member states. And that's why we are going to be working very closely with the Commission for the investment conference to be held in Montenegro sometime end of next year, when we would hopefully have many European companies join and some of them invest in our beautiful country. We have done a lot. However, I think we have to do much more in the future. Next 2 years especially are crucial for Montenegrin's European future. We have to do way more. And to do so, we need the whole society behind us. We need all political parties, all parliamentary political parties, to be rallying behind the same goal that all of us want to attain. All of us want to close all of the chapters by end of 26. And this is really ambitious goal. I know we've discussed it, but it's attainable. We can do it. And I truly believe it's doable. In order to do so, as I said, we need the broadest support and we need the full focus. This is why we will be, as a government, we'll be presenting a platform that we call Barometar 26 or Barometer 26. For all of these bars, actually EBAR as interim benchmarks, CBAR closing benchmarks, we need to increase the speed of our wagons. Our steam has to be rolling faster. We need to increase the working temperature. We need to increase the pressure as well a bit, positive pressure on all the political parties to deliver in the parliament, because to do 26 chapters by end of 26, so that we can be 28th member by end of 28, numerology is already on our side, so all we have to do is execute. We have to be really focused. And that is why in the following days we will be presenting this new European platform called Barometer 26. Once again, thank you so much for visiting us, and I hope every year you will be able to witness all the results that we'll be doing together.
Thank you very much. Prime Minister Milojko, I'm very glad that I can finish my annual tour indeed through the Western Balkans here in beautiful Montenegro. I always get a very warm welcome, and it was the same this year, and I really appreciate I think I can really feel how passionate the Montenegrin people are about the European idea, and therefore it's wonderful to be here. Montenegro is very advanced on the accession path, and it is great to hear, dear Milojko, that you will deliver on your ambition. I remember last year what we discussed, and you have delivered during this year. Now you have wider goals, more ambitious goals. That is good. And I'm confident that you will again, together with the Montenegrin people, deliver on these goals. All this, what you have achieved during the last year, is the result of hard work and of efforts from the whole of the country. So I think you have reasons, good reasons, to be very proud of what you achieved. And we are now closing one chapter after another. 4 could be closed still this year. You can make it all the way if you keep the focus on the accession goal and if all political forces in the country rally behind it. And it was very encouraging for me to listen to your plans of building a platform for everybody to convene and rally behind this common goal. I want to assure you that, like in my first mandate, enlargement will be at the top of the political agenda for the next 5 years. We have now all the necessary tools, all the necessary instruments in place. So let's make it happen, let's make it a reality, and work towards this common goal. In this context, I would like to highlight 2 initiatives. The first one is indeed our growth plan. The growth plan for the Western Balkans. It is designed to bring the region's economies closer to ours and to gradually integrate your regional market into the European single market. You know the approach. We are basically opening the door to the European single market for specific sectors so that Montenegrin companies can access the single market. For that, we need a level playing field, so we need reforms. And these reforms will be accompanied by additional European investment. It has been a year since we've started that idea, and most of the Western Balkan countries have their reform agenda ready. So does Montenegro. And you've done a great job on the reform agenda. I really want to thank also the teams that have been working tirelessly on this reform agenda. It has been very well received. Now we should be able to start the pre-financing of 27 million euros still this year for Montenegro. Overall, Montenegro will receive more than 380 million euros under the growth plan. The plan will deliver very concrete results. For example, as you said, you are already on good track to become part of the single euro payment area. For next year, this is a long name. It basically means that if you transfer money between Montenegro and the European Union, it will be faster, more secure and free. It will benefit, of course, the citizens and the companies of Montenegro, and it's a big step forward. The second initiative I want to highlight is our investment plan for the Western Balkans. It's now 4 years in place, and it is steadily delivering. In Montenegro, the plan has already mobilized more than 2 billion euros of investment. Montenegro is transforming into a key energy hub. It's amazing to see that. We're also investing in clean transport for better connectivity across the region and with Europe. This includes railway lines connecting your capital to the Serbian border and to Tirana. And I also want to mention the renovations we are funding for schools and kindergarten, a very beautiful investment project because we are basically, literally investing in the next generation of Montenegro. Dear Milojko, I also want to mention Montenegro's new Security Operations Center. It is a cutting-edge cybersecurity center that protects your public sector from attacks, like the one you suffered from in the summer of 2022. The European Union has co-financed the new Security Operations Center. We are joining forces, basically, in this fight against cyber attacks. and I will be visiting and inaugurating the new premises in a moment right after this press conference. Prime Minister, to conclude, thank you again for welcoming me here in Podgorica. The people of Montenegro want a European future, and we want to finally bring our continent and our people together. So let's make it happen, and I'm very much looking forward to the good work that we have ahead of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President, Mr. Prime Minister. Uvaženi predstavnici medija, sada je vrijeme za vaša pitanja. Imamo vremena po programu dogovorenom svega za 2 pitanja. Izvolite, molim vas, predstavite se i postavite vaše pitanje i kažite za koga je.
Dobar dan, Biljana Rovčanin, televizija Crne Gore. Pitanje je za gospođu von der Leyen. Evo, čuli smo od premijera da Crna Gora planira da zatvori sva poglavlja do 2026. i da 2028. postanemo punopravna članica. Da li su ti ciljevi realni i šta Crna Gora konkretno treba da uradi kako bi ostvarila taj plan? I pitanje za premijera. Najavili ste platformu Barometar 2026. Kada možemo očekivati detalje te platforme i šta će biti glavni cilj te platforme? Hvala.
So, it is a very ambitious goal, but it is reachable. And therefore, I just want to say very clearly that we stand by your side. We support as much as possible with advice and guidance on reforms, asking what is necessary. Of course, there is a whole set of reforms, but often also accompanied by investments that is necessary to align the European Union and Montenegro. And the requirements are clear, but there is a lot of outstanding progress we've seen in Montenegro. So, having watched the dynamics of the last year and the ambition, I'm very impressed by the speed and by the quality of which Montenegro is moving forward. As you know, the whole process is merits-based, so it depends on the progress Montenegro is doing, but I'm confident that you are able to keep your ambitious goals.
So in order to achieve such an ambitious goal of basically, in the case we manage to close the 4 chapters by end of this year, we will still have 26 to close in 2 years, from 1st of January 25 to end of the 26. It is extremely ambitious goal, as Madam President already said, dear Ursula, but it's also doable. It is doable if we focus every single day, at least 16 hours a day we have to focus on this. And we have to work very hard. And we cannot have any digressions. We cannot have any other major topics to be talking about, because this is so time-consuming, so effort-consuming, so energy-consuming. This whole exercise will be probably one of the most ambitious exercises ever done in a way that we have to transform our country. These reforms will be so demanding, especially 2025, when we won't be closing as many chapters in 25. Mostly we will be closing chapters officially in 26. But most of the grunt work, actually where the rubber hits the road, is end of 24 and 25. This is when both the government, executive power, as well as the parliament have to be working tirelessly and have to be working completely in synchronization so we can achieve this extremely ambitious goal. And that is why we all need to align. We all have to stand in the same line and look at the same future and focus on the single thing, because we don't have time to waste. And that is exactly why we need this initiative, Barometar 26, or all the bars, first E-bars and now C-bars, closing benchmarks, assessment reports. We need 26 of these, 26 of C-bars. And this is exactly why we need to have a single focus.
Hvala. Imamo jedno pitanje s svoje strane. Molim vas, predstavite se i
Poštovanje,
za koga je pitanje.
Nikola Dragaš, List Vijesti. Pitanje za premijera. Hoće li, i ako hoće u kojoj mjeri, na ciljeve koje je Crna Gora zacrtala u pregovorima sa EU utjecati ovih dana pokrenuta identitetska pitanja, pitanje jezika i pitanje dvojnog državljanstva, te kako će na to utjecati neslaganje u vladi, prvenstveno na relaciji koalicije za budućnost Crne Gore, potpredsjednik vlade Nik Đeljašaj. Da li ste o ovim pitanjima identitetskim, o normiranju srpskog jezika kao službenog i dvojnom državljanstvu razgovarali sa gospodinom Andrijom Mandićem? I pitanje za komesarku, također kako će ova identitetska pitanja utjecati na ostvarivanje ciljeva koje je Crna Gora zacrtala i kakav će biti ton izvještaja Europske komisije koji treba da bude predstavljen sljedeće sedmice, pozitivan ili negativan? Hvala.
Hvala.
So I think I'll start with the topic of, last year Montenegro was in a difficult position because we have had census that was not done for many years. Many people actually delayed it. And we all remember that census was always a polarizing topic for like more than 25 years. And that is exactly why it's really important that what happened just last week, when we had all the political parties in Montenegro sign off on the report on the census. This was a major development, unseen in Montenegrin history, when we have all the political parties, all the political forces rally behind the transparency, fairness, and correctness of a single report. This is an example that we, as Montenegro, as a society, have advanced, have matured. And if we truly want to become European Union member state, we have to solve divisive and polarizing issues in a European way. We have to be very inclusive. We have to consult all the major players, all the political forces in our country. And all the decisions have to be made in a very inclusive and all-encompassing way.
So the laws you were just mentioning are clearly a matter of national competence and therefore not for me to comment. But I want to take what you just said, Prime Minister, how important it is to focus on the essential and on the priorities to reach your ambitious goals. You described very clearly how much work there is behind it, and therefore how much effort the whole of the country needs to reach these goals. The goal by 28 to have done all the necessary steps so that the Commission can say you achieved your goal, you reached your goal, and we can recommend the accession. This is the goal to achieve by 2028, and this is a lot of work still ahead of you and us. So therefore the focus on it is absolutely essential. The enlargement report looks at the whole of all topics, the whole set of all topics, and as you hear from my words and as you can observe concerning the work of the last year, it is impressive and very positive what we've seen in the last year. The details then you will see in the report itself.
Zahvaljujemo predsjedniku vlade i predsjednici Europske komisije. Ovim smo iscrpili vrijeme koje je predviđeno za današnju preskonferenciju. Hvala vam.